All right, we are here for sentencing on a felonious assault, habitual third with an 8-year maximum. Malicious destruction, police property, habitual third, 8-year maximum. Fleeing, looting, 4th degree, habitual third, 4-year maximum. Resisting, obstructing police, habitual third, 4-year maximum. Reckless driving, 93 days. Guideline range advisory initially scored at 14 to 43 months. Mr. Gilbert, if you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report with your client.
Yes, my client and I did go through the pre-sentence report, and I went through the factory, and I did not see any issues.
All right, so no additions, corrections, or scoring challenges?
None, Your Honor.
Any from the people? Ms. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gilbert, anything you want to say on your client's behalf?
Your Honor, this case, and I'm sure the court is well aware of it, it was really a mental health issue. Mr. North is definitely not the same individual that committed that crime, those crimes that day. He does understand that his actions could have caused a lot of injuries because of the speed, the areas in which he was going. And it was a pretty televised and knowing thing. I know I was in Indiana with my son-in-law's parents, and his father started talking about this chase that he saw through northern Michigan. I wanted to know if I knew anything about it. And that was this because it was on YouTube and that type of thing. And Mr. North understands that type of situation could harm individuals, innocent police officers, and that type of thing. And he's expressed that to me. And that expression of that remorse has come since he has had his medications, has been, he did go away for mental treatment and has been brought back. That's the reason he's been incarcerated for over 2 years, or almost 2 years. And so I would like to point that out, is that the mental treatment has created a much different person. And I would ask the court to follow our plea agreement and not the recommendation, due to the fact that the treatment has been, I believe, successful and has addressed a lot of those issues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. North, you don't have to make a statement today, but you're allowed to. Is there anything you want to tell me or no?
Yeah, just the schizophrenia and bipolar with episodes that are, sometimes I've never had this bad. For that third day that I didn't have nothing to eat, and I had a heat stroke. I just want to say I never did spit on the officer. I was blowing on the officer. Like blowing on the officer. I would never spit on the officer. And I apologize to the officer. We thought that I did. And just wasn't myself that day. And I don't have an excuse. I just know that I have a family out there. My sister and brother-in-law are going to make sure that I at least go back to my doctor, and I'll be back under doctor's care, and I'll get a job immediately and get some of that restitution paid. And I wasn't in a situation, I wasn't these stupid, bipolar psychotic episodes. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this crime. And I'd rather just wish it never would have happened.
Okay, thank you, Mr. North. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is 58 years old. He has 7 prior felonies and 12 prior misdemeanors. This was a companion case to Otsego where he stole a vehicle and then went on a high-speed chase, fleeing from the police in Sheboygan. We had come to an agreement. He had served 716 days for time served. That's what Otsego did as well, which is about 23 months. The recommendation is at 43 months. I understand, given his criminal history. However, I would ask the court to follow the plea agreement.
Thank you, Mr. North. If you please stand for the court sentence. All right, this is a very serious case, Mr. North, and I don't accept the excuse that this was just your schizophrenia or bipolar that you're saying here today. I mean, you've got a prior conviction for stealing a car 20 years ago. some home invasions, uttering and publishing, then a joyriding in 2015, and now you're stealing a car in Grand Rapids. You steal cars, right? This is your third time stealing a car.
I don't steal cars.
You don't steal cars. I don't steal cars. And you know how I know I don't steal cars? I don't have convictions for stealing cars. This is now your third conviction for stealing cars, Mr. North. I have some news for you. You steal cars.
Because I'm afraid.
And when you stole that car, then you drove it at 100 miles an hour. You didn't stop for the police. Then they had to, at risk not only to you, but to the officers, to everybody else driving in that road. How many people and families do you think you endangered that day? They employ a very dangerous maneuver to stop your car because they have to put an end to the situation before you hurt somebody. And then you decide you're going to ram a patrol vehicle with an officer sitting inside. You could have been shot. That might have been a justified shooting. You're employing deadly force against those officers. They are exercising a heroic level of restraint to make sure that they keep the community safe without having to take your life. And they succeeded. And then you resist. You damage the patrol vehicle. You spit in an officer's face. You did. You did. And you are a habitual felon with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prior felonies. You're charged in this case with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 felonies and a reckless driving. Some of those have consecutive sentencing. You reached a plea agreement that I completely understand, you know, where then it's reduce the habitual to a third and dismiss some of the counts. You know, that's certainly understandable. What I can't abide by, however, is the sentence agreement for no additional incarceration. I know you've got 716 days credit. That's what they say, 23 months. That's a bit shy of 2 years. Somebody that engages in that kind of conduct, and I mean, I know that mental health is one of the things in play. It's not the only thing in play, given your criminal history. It's not the only thing that was going on. It's one of the things that was going on. I think that 2 years is an insufficient sentence for that. It just is. People that engage in that kind of serious risk to the public need to be locked up for longer. The recommendation is for the top end of the guidelines at 43 months. I would follow that recommendation. That exceeds the plea agreement. So you would be allowed to withdraw your plea if you wish and have a jury trial on all 8 charges as a habitual offender. I would give you time with your lawyer to talk about those options. And Mr. Gilbert, if you think you need more time than what you can have just in the courtroom, we can continue the sentencing to the 24th.
I would ask for it to be continued, Your Honor.
So, Mr. North, what that means is you had a plea agreement for no additional time. I intend to give you that additional time. So now you and Mr. Gilbert are going to have a chance to talk about that. We'll come back on June 24th at 2:40 in the afternoon. And at that time, you're going to tell me whether you want to accept that sentence or whether you wish to withdraw your plea and go back to a pretrial posture. Okay, anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
From the
No, Your Honor,
defense?
thank you.
Okay, we'll see you then, Mr. Mark. He'll remain in custody then until